Hello. Welcome to my channel. This is Desiree and welcome to Let's Chat with Desiree. And judging from the title, you can say that today we're going to talk about the 5 feminine lessons that you can find from the movie so you can play that game. Now, a lot of people growing up, even I growing up, I used to love this movie. I used to find it fascinating that we find a female character who was smart enough to play the game, who did not allow men to play with her emotions, who was successful, beautiful, and didn't need male validation to, get ahead or to be viewed as smart enough or intelligent enough to do her work. She didn't rely on a man to get successful. She had her own house, her own car. She had a good friend group. She had a lot of qualities that I think a lot of women growing up really aspire to have. She had it all together, and she had a good man, a fine man, but there were some lessons that I think we needed to learn growing up. And this movie showed it, even though it showed a lot of manipulation on men and women's part, and showed the many games that people play in relationships, which I don't agree with. I don't, but if it's something for you, then do what you need to do, girl. But for me, I believe playing games, especially in relationships, can really ruin them, can really blur the lines between honesty and dishonesty, can blur the lines of commitment and basically just games. Playing games does it does take away the seriousness of what a relationship is, and it is important for us to be honest and straightforward about what we want, what our concerns are, what we need, instead of trying to teach people lessons. Lessons are not meant to be learned through games. Lessons are meant to be learned through communication and honesty. The first lesson is emotional control and intelligence is very important. As we saw while we watched the movie, Shantae's friends were very reactive. Every time something went out of control for them or things happened that they were not, liking to, they reacted in a negative way. One of the friends was throwing things around and breaking things because she had found out that her partner was cheating on her. Her other friend was crying. She didn't want to go to work. She didn't want to go outside. Didn't want to eat. She was just laying in bed because she had gone through a breakup. These women were not equipped to deal with their emotions properly. They didn't know how to deal with self-control and have emotional intelligence or a little bit of self-awareness. Her other friend was constantly fighting her boyfriend, and you see that in their friend group it is very dysfunctional. There was no awareness, there was no self-control, there was no emotional intelligence, which is important, especially when it comes to relationships. You cannot act any kind of way because somebody did something to you or somebody said something to you that made you feel angry or belittled or embarrassed or humiliated. If the world doesn't work that way, people are gonna hurt your feelings. People are gonna say things to you that are out of line, but it doesn't give you the right to act out of character, to throw things around, to cry and wallow on a couch. You shouldn't behave that way. And we saw with Shantae when she found her partner dancing in the club with another woman. She didn't cause a scene. You didn't see her yelling, cussing somebody out. You didn't see her, causing a big scene, calling him anything but a child of God. But instead, she went up to him. She said, "Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. I never thought I'd see you here." She was nice to the other woman, did not cause a scene, didn't call the woman out of her name, which is there's a lesson that I also pointed out in the previous video, that please do not act out of character, because your reputation will be on the line. Your freedom could be on the line too when you act any kind of way. Just because you're a woman, it doesn't give you the right to fight other people, to break other people's property, to say anything you want to say. You have to act with a little bit of honor and dignity. Have a little integrity, ladies. Behave accordingly, right? It's not your mom's house where you can say whatever you want to say and get away with it. This is the real world, right? And Shantae gave us that lesson properly. The next lesson is never build a man or give a man money. And these women, Shantae's friends, were a big example of that, and how it all backfired in their faces. Three of Shantae's friends, all one way or another, were building up men. One way or another, they were helping their boyfriends financially, and it all backfired in their faces in very, very, very bad ways, which I believe could be lessons for us. When I say don't give men money, a lot of people might say that I'm saying that you shouldn't help out your partner. No, I'm saying that don't be a provider in your relationship, right? One of Shantae's friends, she meets a mechanic, bastard dude. She takes the guy, she gets him new teeth, she makes him look good, gets him a new wardrobe. He was all nice in the beginning. What did he do the moment he saw that he was the hottest thing since sliced bread? He ditched her. He started cheating on her. He started not coming back home. He started living his life, because now he has access to women that he normally wouldn't have access to if it wasn't for Wendy's money. Is it Wendy? Yeah, if it wasn't for Wendy's money, her resources, her putting him on and making him a better dude, he wouldn't be out there in the streets. And he went to the streets, baby. And he was like, nah, I can't be with you now because I'm hot now. You build me up for me to be out here in the streets. And he went, which is sad, but it's the reality of what most women deal with. A lot of women build up men and not helping them actually do that for themselves. And they end up paying the price when these men leave them and go for the quote-unquote types or baddies, because now they have access to these women. Now they get the confidence that they needed. Now they have the looks to match the confidence. Now they have the swagger because, she bought him all the clothes. It is important for us to not build a man. One of Shantae's friends, she was living with her boyfriend and actually giving him money while he was literally gambling the money in her kitchen with his friends who were drinking and smoking in her house in front of her children. That boy literally was not working. He was gambling her money and literally asking her in front of her face for money to gamble in her house. And her other friend moves in her boyfriend after a month of dating. But not only that, she moved in her boyfriend after a month of dating and tried to play these games on seeing if he was cheating or not, while he was also not paying any bills in said apartment. It is one of those situations where even when she was breaking things after accusing him of cheating, she was literally breaking some of her own belongings. Literally. And now you leave and you're going to come back to the same apartment, which is yours, that you pay bills for, and you broke nearly half of your things. Please don't ever give a man money. Number three is you play stupid games, you will win stupid prizes. And this is relating to the whole movie and Shantae having to go through these whole steps of trying to teach her man a lesson and getting him to propose, and how it worked for the other friend who built a man. Obviously, that man was going to propose because you were the financial breadwinner. You helped him get his teeth done. You helped him get his confidence and swagger. Of course, he'll want to be with you to get access to your resources. Because now, other women are not going to build him up like you did. Of course, he was going to propose, but that's neither near here or there. But when you do play stupid prizes where you want to play with people's emotions and you want to control them and manipulate them, it will blow up in your face. It will not work out. And in this case for Shantae, she did all of these things, slashed her tires, spent the whole evening at a event talking to another guy. She thought she was gonna get home to some flowers and a man waiting for her. He didn't. He was exhausted emotionally. He was out here dancing with another woman, having the time of his life. But the thing is that a lot of women believe that them just playing these little games will get them what they want, but we forget it's manipulation. Some people don't take kindly to being manipulated to do certain things that they don't want to do. You play games with me in the hopes that I will propose. You play games with me in the hopes that I will behave a certain type of way. What happened to communication? Why can't you sit down and talk to your man and say, I don't like the fact that you went out to a club with another woman without telling me? Like, it could have been that easy. It could have been solved with just a conversation. And the last lesson is sisterhood and advice should have limits. And for Shantae and her friends, the limit should have been the moment they started discussing relationships, and she being the only one that had limits, and having her friends not have limits at all in whatever they said. So she was the only one in her friend group who was giving them advice, who had her thing together, but allowed her friends to literally live in dysfunction and have dysfunctional relationships, all for her to feel good about herself. That is the truth. But that's the problem, because now you're with people that are not helping you thrive. They're not helping you get out of your delusion. They are literally helping you stay in your delusional state. Shantae was not really helping her friends. If Shantae was helping her friend, she would have told her other friend, don't build a man. He's going to leave you. Instead, she breaks the fourth wall and tells the audience that, yeah, what she's doing is bad. But she didn't tell her friends that, you know. And one thing about Shantae, and another lesson that I think is important that I want to wrap up this video with, is her accomplishments were what made her a high value woman. You know, her job, the money, the success that she had, she got it without actually having to be with a man, without having to be a sugar baby, a trophy wife and whatnot. She worked hard. And she dated people that had the same level of ambition, drive, and she explained it in like the opening scene of the video. The movie. But it is important for ladies to understand that it's also the friends that you have that also make you high value. Although she seemed like a high value woman, she was surrounded by women that were not, and that lowered her even more exponentially. But it's neither here or there. But anyway, thank you for watching, and light and love.